Good morning, everyone. How are we all feeling this morning? Disappointed? Yeah, me too. What a shit result that was in the end. After starting off with such promise, to end the game like that is, almost, it's almost comical, to be honest, after all of that. But that's being a Spurs fan, right? That's where this bloody horrible term Spursy comes from. That it doesn't matter what we do or how far forward we get or whatever, something will always come and kick us right up the rectum. So I did say before the game, for those of you that did see my little preview video, that anything can happen in a London derby, especially when you've got a small club coming up against a big club. You're always going to find that the little club will raise their game and all the rest of it. The disappointing thing about that is, I don't think West Ham particularly needed to raise their game. I felt that we just undid ourselves. So, after coming out all guns blazing, being 3-0 up after 16 minutes, it was almost to me like the team were just resting on their laurels. We're 3-0 up. There's no problem. Everything's fine. We'll just cruise. And to me, that's the difference between a great side and a good/decent side. Do you think realistically that a team like Liverpool or Chelsea or dare I say it, Man United would have let West Ham carry on with just 3-0? Or do you think they'd have put them to the sword and got onto a cricket score and really, really made them pay? That's the problem, right? That's the problem. Second half, West Ham played better. You've got to give them credit. I don't care what anyone says. You've got to give them credit. They didn't let their heads drop and disappear and give up. They were in the first half. In the first half, there was an awful lot of that. But in the second half, not so much. In the second half, whatever David Moyes said to them worked. Go out there, give it some pride. The game ain't over yet. You've still got 45 minutes. If they can score 3 goals in 16 minutes, what's to say we can't score 3 goals in 16 minutes? That kind of stuff. As a manager, you can't afford to let your team just go out on a whimper. You really need to get them focused and motivated to turn it around, even against the odds. So when they came out and they pushed and they pushed and they prodded and they poked and they kept going and they kept going, and the longer it went on that we didn't put anything more in the back of the net, the more chance that their belief was going to grow. And it did. It grew and it grew and it grew. Sissoko switches off, doesn't make the challenge. Bang, there you are, 3-1. And then it all starts getting wobbly. Now, if you're a Spurs fan of any kind of time, you will know that feeling of dread in your stomach when you're looking at a 3-0 scoreline and still being worried with 10 minutes to go that you're going to come out of it the winner. Because we've been there so many times before. We've seen it so many times before. Unfortunate for Sanchez. He heads it in, own goal. They happen from time to time. But that's because you're on a wobble. That's because you've just given a goal away that needn't have been given away and ended up, pushing yourself. Then when you're at 3-2, you're really starting to panic. You're really starting to wobble. And again, what happens? Serge Aurier gives away a tackle, a free kick. Now, the only thing I will say about that is, I personally didn't think that Aurier did anything wrong. I felt the West Ham player cut across him as he played the ball away, and the worst thing it could have been was a throw-in. That was my view. But you can't blame that. You can't blame any kind of decision. You can't blame any kind of unfortunate incident or anything like that. You've got to just take it on the chin and say, We weren't good enough. That ain't good enough. That play ain't good enough. You know, for me, I've always had question marks against Aurier, always. I don't think he played very well yesterday. He didn't give any attacking intent. He didn't cross the ball in. He didn't make any kind of impacts at all, apart from giving away the free kick that led to the goal, the final goal. And hey, you know, Lanzini, what a goal that is. What a goal. You know, nothing that Hugo can do about it, nothing the defence could do about it. He hit it with such venom and such accuracy. You know, great goal, well deserved. You know, I'm not gonna be bitter and twisted about it. At the end of the day, the kid scored a great goal. It is what it is. But the disappointing thing is that we were in that position to draw that game in the first place, because there was no need for it. You know, the one positive thing that I'll say about that game, Harry Kane, what a player that guy is. You know, giving it all. They don't deserve him. So the rest of that team just does not deserve him, because, you know, he's providing assists, he's scoring goals. You know, he's doing last-minute ditch tackles, diving in to make sure it doesn't get a goal just before half-time. Without him, you know, it could have been a lot worse. You know, they could have been back in that game in the first half. You know, maybe had they got the goal in the first half, maybe we'd have picked it up in the second half. Maybe we wouldn't have sat back and just watched and tried to see the game out. We should have put them to the sword. We should have taken it all the way and put them to the sword and finished them off. That's what we should have done. We know it. It was obvious. Gareth Bale makes his long-awaited return. Clearly, he is not match fit. We can see that. He was huffing and puffing all the way through towards the end. Missed a glorious chance. Now, had that gone in, that really would have killed the game. We needed that extra goal that would have killed the game off. You know, how ridiculous is it to have to say that? How ridiculous is it to say at 3-0 up we needed a fourth goal to kill the game off? But we did. You know, our defence has always been ropey. It's always been a little bit, you know, weak, a weak mentality. And so, you know, you're always looking for that extra goal that's just really going to make the difference. But it's, as we say, if you scored all three of your goals within 16 minutes and you're not threatening after that, you know, there's always a chance. There's always a chance for the other team. And West Ham, at the end of the day, got what they deserved out of it. They got a draw. End of story. Wipe your tears, carry on. You know, what else can you say? There's no point me sitting here ranting and raving and all the rest of it. Yeah, okay, that might get me some more views, but what's the point of that? You know, it's not going to make anything different. It's not going to change it. Jose Mourinho ain't going to listen to me or what I bloody got to say. So it's pointless. But yeah, disappointed? Of course disappointed. You know, you shouldn't be going 3-0 up and drawing a game. You know, that's just absolutely poor, you know. Didn't think the substitutions worked. I didn't think that was a good move. I felt that Ndombele was having a decent game. He was controlling things. He was hard to get the ball off of. You know, Son, he's always got a chance in him. You know, and I understand. We need to get Bale on. We need to get some minutes for him. We need to get the guy match fit, because, you know, make no mistake, I'm sure he's going to be a star for us again. But it's just so frustrating to think that win that game, you're up in second, you keep your momentum going, you put down one of your London rivals, you know, you keep your bragging rights and all the rest of it, you know. So, you know, I'm gutted from that perspective. But it is what it is, you know. I'm not gonna cry myself to sleep over it. You know, we move on to the next game and hopefully carry on and see where it takes us. But it just becomes another wake-up call for everybody saying, you know, we can win this, or we can win that, or, you know, we've got an opportunity to really show something in the league and all the rest of it. Yeah, we have. But the key thing is consistency. You've got to be consistent. You can't go and beat Man United 6-1 and then lose a 3-0 lead to West Ham the next time you play. You can't call that consistent. You can't call that, you know, champions, you know, mentality or champions form. You can't. It's just not going to happen. So, you know, there you go. End of the day, we move on. And I've said that 3 times already, so apologies, I'm waffling. It's been a long night. Just finishing work, so I'm off to bed now. So let's keep hatching up, guys, and see what happens in the next game. And, you know, it's a long season. There's still plenty of points to play for. Hopefully we'll get a better result on Thursday and better results at the weekend, and we'll keep pushing on. And let's just see where it takes us. Up the Spurs.